Comcast Cablevision Channel 5 presents Colonial Conference Football from Woodbury High School. The host Thundering Herd against the visiting Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School. Hello, everybody. Bob Shryack along with Mark Narducci. It is raining at Woodbury High School, not that hard, and we should have a great Colonial Conference football game between these two traditional rivals, Woodbury and Paulsboro. This series going all the way back 74 years. Paulsboro, of course, the defending champion in the Colonial and in Group 1 in South Jersey, and Woodbury trying to rebound from kind of an off-season. Both of those teams got off to a great start last week with shutout victories. Mark, rain's sometimes the great equalizer, and I guess Woodbury's looking for any kind of an edge it can get against this great Paulsboro quarterback, Kevin Harvey. Do you think the rain could help Woodbury today?
Not really for this reason, Bob. Woodbury relies on a lot of team speed, too. They have a lot of good young backs, and so I think it'll also neutralize what they do best, too. These are two very good speed teams.
I know you had a chance to talk to the coaches during the week, Jim Boyd of Woodbury High School, and you indicated that Boyd feels that Woodbury, mandatory for them to get off to a good start today.
Yeah, if you remember in last year's game, they get down to the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. They're not able to punch it in. Paulsboro gets some momentum and then wins the game big. This is a young team, Bob. Woodbury starts 5 sophomores on offense, 3 sophomores on defense, so it's imperative that they keep it close very early, get the confidence, and hey, who knows?
Kind of a battle of the underclass quarterbacks today, and of course we've heard of Mr. Harvey from Paulsboro for 3 years now, but how about this young fellow from Woodbury High School? Only a sophomore, had a great opening game against Audubon last week in the Thundering Herd's 28-0 victory. He looks to me like a player, Mark.
Yeah, Kenny Wilson, 6 for 12, 180 yards passing. If Woodbury can get 180 yards passing today, they're going to be very, very dangerous. They had an undefeated freshman team. He was certainly the catalyst to that, Bob, and they are very, very excited about this young sophomore here.
Does Woodbury feel it has to throw the football today?
I don't know if they feel as much as I do. In fact, I think both teams have to. Remember last week, Paulsboro only threw 5 passes, completed 4 of them, but I think they also have to throw more too, because I think both teams are going to see a lot of linebackers blitzing. I think that you're going to have to pass to kind of open things up a little bit.
Mark, you've seen a lot of great high school football players during your years in South Jersey. Where does Mr. Harvey of Paulsboro High School rank among them?
I'll tell you what, Bob, if he's not number 1 as a high school player, he's right up there. And the thing that separates him, I've seen obviously bigger players. I've seen obviously faster players. I've never seen a player more elusive than Kevin Harvey. That's the sixth sense that the running backs have, the quarterbacks have. He can just, as Glenn Howard was telling us earlier in the week, he can stop on a dime and cut like that. You can't teach that kind of elusiveness. He's just so dangerous. He does it all. This year he's now playing a lot of defense too. That's another dimension to his game.
Will that impact to any degree, you think, his offensive play?
I think it might. In fact, I think that if the team is, comfortably ahead, that they should probably take him out defensively, kind of give him a breather. But he's such a great athlete. He just wants to be in there. Keep in mind, Bob, when he goes to college, he could be a great major college cornerback. He could be a great major college wide receiver, a running back, a punt returner. And I still think he can play quarterback in the right system on the next level.
Some have demeaned the supporting cast at Paulsboro a little bit this year. Do you think that is an unfair appraisal?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mike Bell is making the Division 1A visits to Minnesota and Nebraska. I mean, he's certainly one of the best defensive linemen in South Jersey. Greg Harvey's one of the best wide receivers in South Jersey. And I think Wayne Hampton's maybe one of the best junior offensive linemen in South Jersey. There's 4 guys right there that are a solid nucleus. No. This is not Kevin Harvey and the rest of them. This is a talented team.
Okay, key early season game in the Colonial Conference. Woodbury 1-0, Paulsboro 1-0. Coming up with opening kickoff right after this. Colonial Conference football from Woodbury High School. Overcast, bit rainy Saturday morning. Mark Narducci and Bob Shryack. 2 teams off to great starts, 1-0, shutout victories in their openers. Big game today, and Woodbury looking for the major upset. Kevin Chu will kick it off for the Red Raiders, a deep man for Woodbury in the middle. Aaron Harvey, you're going to be hearing that Harvey name a lot today. Both teams with 2 Harveys. They're all cousins and all great football players.
Can you imagine the Harveys at a family reunion playing a little touch football, Bob?
Quite a game. Kevin Chu about to approach the ball and just about ready to get going at Woodbury High. Taken by one of the upmen at the 25-yard line. And a nice hole for the return man, Aiken Chandler, and Woodbury will have good starting position from its own 38-yard line. Ken Wilson runs the attack for Woodbury High. Only a sophomore, had a great midget career, had an outstanding debut against Audubon last week, and he can throw the football. Woodbury with a couple of dimensions offensively this year. Aaron Harvey and Nick Tursch, the wide receivers. And Wilson quickly back to throw. Guns it over the middle, completed pass. And Woodbury with a quick first down as Nick Tursch, a senior end, makes the reception for a first down as Woodbury quickly penetrates Paulsboro territory to the 49-yard line.
Bob, the middle wide open that time for Tursch. Obviously, Paulsboro looked like it was expecting a running play that time, and Woodbury coming out and saying, hey, we're going to throw you off a little bit, and maybe they will throw a little bit more, and I expect them to, than 12 times from last week.
Wilson to throw again. This one is batted away. Big defensive play by Brian Peck, one of the veterans along the Red Raider defensive line. It'll be second down and 10. These first two plays are any indication, Mark. Woodbury apparently feels that it can throw on Paulsboro.
Well, they can throw, but they're going to have to, like they did in the first play, Wilson's going to have to roll out a lot because I expect to get a lot of pressure from this Paulsboro defensive line. I don't think Woodbury's going to be able to play smash mouth football against this defensive line, so they're going to have to do a lot of rollout type things.
Second and 10. Wilson gets a big rush, gets the flip off, but very little doing for Anthony Reagan. Reagan gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be third down and 10 for the Thundering Herd.
You know, Bob, we talked about Kevin Harvey. There you see him, number 8 there, playing defense. That time as a cornerback, he turned the play in. He didn't make the tackle, but he made Reagan go inside so the other players could get him. Outstanding defensive play.
Passing down coming up for Ken Wilson, third down and 10. Tursch, the wide receiver, split to the right side, and handoff straight ahead, and very little doing for William Rothmiller, the junior fullback, 230-pounder, and Woodbury, after picking up one first down, will be forced to punt.
John Esposito, a great job inside there on the tackle that time, and again, I think it's going to be very tough to move what I think is an immovable Paulsboro front line. Now, they play the 5-man front. They're very, very tough to run on.
Tursch punting for Woodbury, and let's see if he kicks it away from the return man, Kevin Harvey. So dangerous every time he touches the football. Bad snap from center. Tursch still gets it off. This should negate a return by Harvey, however, and a good bounce for Woodbury High. So Paulsboro will start its first possession from its own 20-yard line with 9:56 to play first period. Paulsboro, the defending champion in the Colonial Conference, also the defending Group 1 champion, 11-0 season. Paulsboro's first since 1951. Frisbee and Urban, the backs behind Harvey. And Harvey with the straight handoff and some pretty good running room. Gerald Urban, a junior, is advanced to the 25-yard line. It'll be second down and about 5 for Paulsboro. Beginning to clear up, it appears. Good news for the fans. Pretty good crowd on hand despite the shaky weather. Frisbee from fullback, Irvin from tailback behind Harvey. And a handoff to Frisbee. He is close to a first down, just inside the 30-yard line.
You know, Bob, you had asked me before, is this just Kevin Harvey? Obviously, he's a major catalyst, but when you have guys in the backfield like Irvin and Frisbee that can run as fast as they can and can make the cuts that they can, there are just so many threats back there that you really, Jim Boyd told us before the game, yeah, we have to let Kevin Harvey get his, but we can't pay too much attention because they have too much depth and too many guys that can hurt you.
Third down, less than a yard for the Red Raiders. The ball at the 30-yard line. Handoff straight ahead, and not much running room for Urban, but he appears to have the first down. So each team with a first down in the early going.
That time William Rothmiller, number 35, the defensive lineman for Woodbury, got excellent penetration that time, but not quite enough.
Clock running, 8:25 to play first period, no score. Each team with one possession. And be a procedure penalty against Paulsboro, back them up 5 yards.
What happened was Chris Justice,
We have a dead ball,
big guy,
snap infraction on the offense, 5 yards, first down.
That was George Daniels. Boy, has he been around refereeing for a few years, Mark. One of the great officials in all of South Jersey.
Absolutely, Bob. And the rest of his crew, by the way, the umpire is Jeff Gordon, the linesman John Finelli, the line judge Rich Bakley, the back judge is Dave Bowman, and up here with us, the clock operator Gene Kravitz. And I was saying that Chris Justice, 6'5", 240, junior tight end, went in motion, and I just never thought Paulsboro was set on that play, and just weren't in sync that time.
Harvey back to throw, getting great protection, goes deep, and throws into triple coverage that is almost intercepted by Woodbury's Stephen Felder. The coverage was on Greg Harvey, Kevin's cousin, but Kevin Harvey showing his arm there, but he threw into triple coverage. It'll be second down and 15.
Another impressive thing, the Woodbury defensive backs, we said that they have good team speed. I think they showed it there because Greg Harvey can beat a lot of defenses and he can beat them deep. Woodbury was there step for step with him.
Excellent coverage. Second down and 15, the ball at the 26-yard line of Paulsboro. 7:48 to play. Scoreless first period. Backs now split behind Harvey. Harvey back to throw again. And he'll run with the football. Stays on his feet somehow and battles his way up to about the 34-yard line, but beat one tackler. Managed to pick up about 7 yards. The advance to the 33-yard line where it'll be third down and about 8 for a first down.
Yeah, that time he was taken down by James Dixon, but again, Harvey gained so many yards after the initial hit. William Rothmiller had him with would have been about a 2-yard gain. Harvey eluded him that time.
Frisbee, the lone back, set behind Harvey on this third and long. And Harvey back to throw again. Penalty marker is down. Harvey chased out of the pocket, lets it go, and the pass is incompleted. The intended receiver was Gerald Urban. Again, good coverage by the Woodbury secondary, but we'll see which way this penalty goes. Appears to be on Paulsboro, a holding call. I'm sure they'll decline this and force the punt.
You know, and if you're a young Woodbury team, as
Holding
we get a
on
call,
the offense, declined, fourth down.
you're a young Woodbury team, Bob, you have to get a lot of confidence out of this. You know, your first offensive series, they start out, they threw a couple nice passes. Now they make a very good defensive stand. And we said Woodbury keeps it close early. It could make a major, major difference.
Mike Bell, the punter for Paulsboro, a fine veteran player. Bell gets off the punt, taken on the run at the 37-yard line by Felder, 5'5", 140-pound sophomore, with a pretty good return to the 46. So Woodbury will have its second possession, and as Mark indicates, Woodbury has to feel pretty good about things so far. They got one first down, their first possession, and made the defensive stop. Sun is out at Woodbury High School.
Bob, the other thing is we saw in the last offensive series, Woodbury just trying to go up the middle. They're going to have a lot of trouble with Paulsboro. If they can somehow spring some people outside, expect a lot of rolling out by Wilson offensively to try to create things.
Reagan, the lone back, set behind Wilson. He gets the handoff, picking his way over the right side, stays on his feet. A nice run by Reagan across midfield to about the 48-yard line, where Woodbury will have a second down and about 4.
I'll tell you what, for you young backs watching, Reagan did exactly what you want. He ran what they call low to the ground that time, and he eluded the first hit, and just excellent play.
Second time Woodbury has been in Paulsboro territory here in the first period. Wilson gets a big rush. He'll have to hang on to the football. No place to run, and he will lose yardage. Good pursuit, number 62, Brian Peck of the Red Raiders over there along with Brian Nevis. Also Kevin Harvey. And it'll be a third down for the Thundering Herd as Wilson is tackled back at his own 48-yard line for a 4-yard loss. Third down and 8. 5:25 to play in the first. No score. Two teams off to 1-0 starts in the Colonial Conference, both with shutout victories. Reagan again, the only back set behind Wilson on this apparent passing down, 3rd and 8. Wilson, a quick pass over the middle, incomplete. A good stick made by Kai Myers of the Red Raiders, and Woodbury again in a punting situation. And again, Harvey will go back.
Back for the Raiders, number 8, Kevin Harvey.
I'll tell you that time though, Bob, number 16, Nick Terse, was open behind. They tried the pop pass, not a bad play, but you have to throw the ball a little lower, but Terse was even open behind him. Look for them to look for Terse, because we've seen him open a couple times. He had the one reception already.
Again, a bad snap. Terse manages to get it off, but again, this will mean that Harvey does not get to return the football. So that's the good news, and a good roll again back to the 16. 4:58 to play first period. No score. Paulsboro and Woodbury will be back.
Ball again on the Paulsboro 16-yard line. First and 10, Red Raiders.
Mark Narducci and Bob Shryock at Woodbury High School. No score, but Woodbury acquitting itself well in the early going. Paulsboro with its second possession from deep in his own territory at the 16. The I formation behind Harvey, Irvin, and Frisbee. Quick pitch to Irvin. He'll cut it back inside and takes a good stick. Good tackle by the Thundering Herd's Aaron Harvey. The carry by Gerald Irvin nets only 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, you know, in a lot of teams, Paulsboro can make that pitch and get some outside, but Woodbury just has excellent speed, Bob. You have to do a little more than just do that, because the Woodbury defensive people are beating Paulsboro to the spot. I like to see if they'll run any option with actually Kevin Harvey carrying the ball.
Straight ahead, and very little doing as that Woodbury defense continues to impress in the early going. The carry by Eric Frisbee, that's only a couple of yards to the 20-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and about 6 for the Red Raiders.
Now that last offensive play, it almost looked like they could have gone into that, but Harvey chose to hand it off. Be interesting to see if he keeps the ball after the fake. That's where Paulsboro is most dangerous.
Harvey back to throw, has great protection, fires it, and it's complete. A great pass from Kevin to his cousin Greg Harvey for the 1st down, and there's a great indication of Kevin Harvey's very strong arm. You hear all about his great running ability, but not too many people talk about the fact this young man can throw the football too. 19-yard pickup for the 1st down to the 39-yard line.
And again, Greg Harvey does what all great receivers did. He pushed those defensive backs way back. They gave him plenty of cushion. He just found the spot. He's being double-teamed, but it doesn't matter. He's still getting open.
Harvey back to throw again, fires it over the middle, wide open for the reception is Jamie Tarpley. And that gets Paulsboro to midfield.
Number 25, Hakeem Chandler. Number 50, James Groff.
And another 1st down, so consecutive 1st downs on passing plays by Harvey.
Bob, that was a great play because what they did was Greg Harvey cleared the area. Tarpley was able to get in the middle. Greg Harvey took 2 defenders with him. Tarpley had the open area, and they found him.
Straight ahead, and Frisbee breaks a tackle, breaks another one, gets to the outside. And Harvey finally knocked out of bounds, or excuse me, Eric Frisbee knocked out of bounds after a very nice run, breaking a couple of tackles. So Paulsboro now has racked up 3 1st downs on 3 straight plays. That is a 16-yard advance to the 34-yard line. So now they're beginning to show all their weapons offensively.
And I'll tell you, Steve Felder, if he doesn't make that play and get over there from his safety position, maybe Paulsboro's Frisbee goes all the way that time.
1st and 10. Paulsboro with its deepest penetration. Straight ahead, Frisbee again. Frisbee to the 30-yard line. Late stages, first period, 2:20 to go. No score, but Paulsboro with the deepest penetration by either team. Frisbee got 4, 2nd down and 6.
Interesting, because that last play, Frisbee lined up in a single back. Now they go back to the I formation.
Greg Harvey, the receiver, to the near side with one-on-one coverage. And straight ahead, Frisbee with another good pickup for the Raiders. So they have their offense untracked on their second possession. This advanced to the 24-yard line, where Paulsboro has its 4th first down of this possession. Paulsboro always manages, Mark, to come up with the good backs, it seems.
Never a problem with that. And by the way, Kevin Chu, number 67, the right tackle, really opening up some big holes on that side. There you see him.
Handoff straight ahead, Irvin. Pretty good yardage. The Paulsboro offensive line beginning to acquit itself on this drive. Irvin's advanced to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6 minute 15 to play. First period.
People think that Paulsboro is this flashy team that just has all this speed and runs by people, but they can really punish people at the line of scrimmage. They're certainly doing it on this series.
Kevin Harvey has carried the ball only 1 time in the football game. Of course, last week he carried it 5 times and gained 152 yards. 2nd and 6. Handoff, Irvin, good yardage, and he is short of another first down by only about a yard. So Frisbee and Irvin being alternated nicely on this drive. Make it 3rd down and 2, the ball at the 16-yard line, 30 seconds with the clock running in the first period.
Great job of misdirection that time. One of these times, though, they're going to fake the misdirection, and Kevin Harvey will roll out to the left side where he can really be dangerous.
3rd and 2. Pitch to Irvin. Irvin has the first down and bowls inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. What should be the final play of the period. The clock will be stopped, and then they'll rewind it. So this is 5 first downs in this possession. Paulsboro have a first down and goal. So that'll do it for the first quarter from Woodbury High School. On the Valley and Bow scoreboard, it is Woodbury nothing and Paulsboro nothing. We'll be back after this. Longtime Colonial Conference rivals Paulsboro and Woodbury in action in the second week of the high school football season. Mark Narducci and Bob Schrack from Woodbury High. Paulsboro with its best opportunity of the football game. It is scoreless, but Paulsboro with a first and goal from the 8 as we open second period play. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Harvey with the carry. Harvey picks his way into the end zone. Not surprising. Kevin Harvey on a keeper all the way, rolls out and carries it into the end zone from the 8-yard line for the first touchdown of the football game, coming to 7 seconds in to the second period, and Paulsboro leads 6-0.
Well, Bob, we say he gains so much of his yardage after he is hit, and he's a lot stronger than people think. That time, his cousin, Tim Harvey, actually had him pinned down back there, and he was able to just shake it off. He's a lot stronger. He's 175, but as you see, if you're going to arm tackle him, you're going to have trouble bringing him down.
Chu from placement. It's a short kick, but it gets over the bar, so it's 7-0 Paulsboro. Paulsboro with a great drive on only its second possession of the first period, and they used much of the clock in the first period to score that TD. Take a look at that touchdown, Mark.
Well, as we see, and this is no fake or anything, he's carrying this all the way. This is a design play. Watch now as Tim Harvey will come up. He has a pretty good angle on him right there. You're not going to arm tackle him. Just shrugs it off. And look how he cuts, Bob, right there. Glenn Howard told to us about cutting on a dime. That's exactly it as he gets into the end zone. It's interesting how teams use the run to set up the pass. I thought in that drive, Bob, they set up the run with the pass because they had only gained 2 yards in the first 2 carries in that drive, and then Harvey had the 2 completions. That seemed to open things up.
Today's game is brought to you by Dowdy's Fine Furniture. It is Dowdy's proud tradition of quality, service, and value that has been kept alive since 1946 with one of Southern New Jersey's largest, most beautiful home furnishing showrooms. 43,000 square feet of showroom with over 150 fully decorated and accessorized vignettes. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday open from 9 to 9, Wednesday from 11 to 5, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Dowdy's Fine Furniture in the borough of Clayton. So Paulsboro in top 7-0. Chew to kick it off for the Red Raiders, and this day has really turned out to be a beautiful one. Waiting at the 15-yard line is Reagan for the Thundering Herd. Has some room and does a nice job of staying on his feet with a good return up to about the 36-yard line. Nice return by Anthony Reagan, only a sophomore.
Yeah, I like Reagan's style. We talked about how he runs low to the ground, and he's another one that one hit is not going to bring him down. He's very tough in there. Bob, that drive was interesting. 11 plays, 84 yards, but the key play was the 3rd and 6 from the 20 when Kevin Harvey hit his cousin Greg for 19 yards, and that seemed to open things up. Then they got the completed pass again on the next play. Woodbury did to Tarpley for 11, and that really opened up the defense. The rest of the plays were running plays. 1st and 10, ball at the 36-yard line.
2 men in motion. This play will come back. Some confusion in the Woodbury backfield as they had 2 men in motion at the same time, so that'll cost the Thundering Herd 5 yards.
I'll tell you, if I'm Paulsboro, I might think about declining it.
We have an illegal shift on the offense. The penalty is declined. 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10 for the Thundering Herd. Let's see how they answer offensively. Woodbury scored all 28 of its points, Mark, in the first half against Audubon last week. I saw the first half of that game and very impressed with their offensive weapons.
The thing is, against a team like Paulsboro, you need a little gadgetry, Bob. Straight ahead running and everything's just not going to do it.
Wilson gets a big rush and he goes down. A huge rush by Brian Peck, 205-pound senior. And what a rush Peck put on for the sack. Wilson had no chance, Mark.
No, absolutely not. Peck and company have really done a great job. And again, that's what we keep saying. Straight drop back passing is not going to do it. You've got to roll Wilson out. You've got to give him a little bit of room and buy a little bit of time.
3rd down and 17 for the Thundering Herd. Another apparent passing down for Wilson, but Peck has been in there consistently here in the first half. Wilson back to throw again. Fires it, almost intercepted, and then almost caught on the rebound by Nick Terse. So Woodbury not with a good series on that possession, and they're going to have to punt the football.
Now, Wilson's a young player, and he's going to learn. He threw into double coverage. That was certainly a design play on the out pattern. Sometimes quarterbacks are going to have to read that and maybe look the other way, but it's a lot to ask of a sophomore who we think, Bob, he's going to be a very, very good quarterback before it's all said and done.
Terse back to punt for Woodbury. Now, remember, on the 2 previous Terse punts, there have been low snaps from center that have bounced back to Terse. This one bounces back as well, and this is going to cost them. Terse is going to be tackled at the 15-yard line, so the errant snap from center really cost the Thundering Herd this time. Paulsboro is going to be in excellent field position to perhaps win and get a sack when they have to do something about those deep snaps on the punts, Mark.
Yeah, Gerald Irvin right in there, too, on the tackle that time. And certainly you can't give a team like Paulsboro this type of an opportunity now, so deep in territory.
1st down and 10, Red Raiders. The ball at about the 15.5-yard line. 10:20 to play in the first period. Although Woodbury acquitted itself well in the first, Paulsboro scored on its first play in the second period and have another chance here. Paulsboro wants a timeout with 10:12 to play in the first half. We're going to take a timeout from Woodbury High. It's the Red Raiders 7, Woodbury nothing. Mark Narducci and Bob Shryock at Woodbury High School. Paulsboro with a big break on the errant snap on the Woodbury punt, and they have an excellent opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Harvey with Frisbee, the lone setback with the long count. Frisbee with the handoff. Penalty marker is down. Frisbee tackled by Aaron Harvey of Woodbury. But there is a penalty.
Usually means holding in the area where it was thrown against Paulsboro. That would certainly be a big break if that's so for the Thundering Herd.
We have holding on the offense during the run. 10-yard replay, first down.
First down and 20 after the 10-yard holding penalty against the Red Raiders. And they're back at the 26-yard line.
Interesting, you know, last year Mike Bell was a tight end who saw a lot of action here. Mike has switched to fullback, but he's actually his second-team fullback because of the job that Paulsboro's been able to do. Gerald Irvin's done a fine job.
Harvey back to throw. Dumps it over the middle. Wide open is Frisbee, picking his way, and he gets it down to about the 14-yard line, so they get back the 10 they lost in the penalty, plus a yard or two. Frisbee with the catch. He was wide open over the middle, and Harvey didn't miss him.
Well, again, Paulsboro sent the receivers out to the corners, left the middle wide open. It was almost like a delayed screen pass down the middle there, and executing it beautifully was Harvey, who showed excellent touch on that pass too.
2nd down and 8 for the Red Raiders. They're at the 14-yard line of Woodbury with 9:30 to play in the first half. It might be a delay.
We have a dead ball, delay of the game, 5-yard penalty.
Like a little confusion by the Raiders in that play. Mark Frisbee reset from the running back position. That'll cost them 5. So Paulsboro hurting itself with penalties on this possession.
Yeah, he reset, and because he had the reset, they had to give him time to reset. Harvey had to take even longer to get the play off, and then that's what caused a delay of game penalties.
2nd and 13, the ball at the 19-yard line. Harvey to throw. The old alley-oop pass, and wide open for the touchdown is Greg Harvey on a beautiful touch pass from his cousin Kevin Harvey. 19-yard scoring pass. And Greg Harvey, one of the better receivers in the area. That play worked absolutely to perfection, Mark.
Well, they had single coverage that time, and he was looking to him the whole time, Bob. What you have to say is, you mentioned it's a 19-yard pass, but the pass was actually thrown about 40 yards in the air to the far corner. He had to have outstanding touch on this play. You described it certainly accurately that time. Just a great touch pass. Took advantage of the one-on-one coverage in the corner.
Chu from placement. Again, a short kick, but again, an accurate kick. And it's 14-0 with 9:11 to play. All right, we're going to get a chance to see this play again on replay, Mark.
Look, he's looking for him all the way. See, he has the single coverage there. Kevin Jackson. And the ball's right there. He didn't even have to jump or everything. Right over the shoulder. Bob, you cannot throw a better pass than that.
Mark, I think you could have caught that one.
Well, we're getting a little carried away now, but your point's well made.
Mark, after a scoreless first period and Woodbury acquitting itself very well, Paulsboro has now scored twice in a span of 2 minutes and 42 seconds. And that's what they can do. They can hit you quickly. Today's game is brought to you by Dowdy's Fine Furniture, with many styles to choose from. Dowdy's features 7 manufacturers' authorized galleries: the American Home Gallery of Fine Furniture by American Drew and Flex Steel, the Clayton Marcus Showcase Gallery, the Brookline Comfort Gallery, the Cochran Gallery, the Rose Showplace Gallery, and the Wisconsin Custom Shop. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday 9 to 9, Wednesday 11 to 5, Saturday 9 to 5. 2 kicking off, and it's a deep one. It'll go right through the end zone, and Woodbury will start with 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. And Mark, now important, I believe, for Woodbury to get its offense clicking, pick up a couple of first downs, use some clock. They're not out of this football game, but what they can't afford now is another 3 and out.
Right, and the other thing we've also seen, Bob, is they've had a tough time going up the middle, whether they're running up the middle or having their quarterback, Wilson, drop straight back. As I said, I really look for some sprint action, getting outside, giving them the pass run option, and really just buying some time against what's been a very, very fierce Paulsboro pass rush.
So Woodbury with its 3rd possession of the football game. And this play going absolutely nowhere, like a little bit of a mix-up on the snap. Hope you stay tuned to us at halftime today. I have an opportunity to talk to a couple of well-known Channel 5 personalities, Steve Anishevsky, John Berzichelli, about the 1951 Paulsboro High School football team. It was undefeated. Talk a little bit about that team. So a big reunion coming up with the 1951 Paulsboro team.
Bob, we saw some video that they gave us of that. Unbelievable.
2nd down, Wilson with the pitch, and Kevin Harvey with the defensive play on the corner, and Woodbury really getting backed up now. So Woodbury's offense moving in reverse on its last 2 possessions. This will be a 3rd down coming up, and about 16 for a first down. Not a good spot on the field for the Thundering Herd. Ball at the 15-yard line. They have to get it out to about the 31 for a first down.
Keep in mind, the day Kevin Harvey started playing defense, he immediately became the best cornerback in South Jersey.
One back set behind Wilson. Wilson back to throw. Chased out of the pocket. Has a man, it is dropped. Ed Hill was in the open, unable to come up with the ball, and now Woodbury in another precarious situation, Mark. It's safe to say they have had difficulty on their punt so far, and they have to punt this one from just inside the goal line. So not a good situation here for Woodbury.
And I'll tell you, that Paulsboro defensive line of Hampton, John Esposito, Brian Peck, Bell, and Joe Schmidt have just put absolute pressure. That time, Brian Peck right in there on Wilson.
Terse the punter, and Kevin Harvey the single safety for the Red Raiders, but he has not had an opportunity to return a ball yet. Better snap this time. Terse gets it off. This is possibly returnable. No fair catch called for. And a good punt by Terse because it negated the opportunity for Harvey to make the return. However, Paulsboro again with excellent field position from the Woodbury 40-yard line.
You know, I think people are so worried about Harvey returning the ball that maybe some of the other areas of the game slip, such as the bad snaps that we've seen.
Jim Boyd, the Woodbury High School coach, obviously concerned. Donnell Davis, one of his assistants in the foreground. 1st and 10, Red Raiders. They lead at 14-0. All 14 points coming here in the second. Harvey back to throw. Great protection. Dumps it over the middle. That play wide open all day. The receiver, Chris Justice, 240-pound junior tight end, makes the catch down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and about 2 for the Red Raiders, who have their offense clicking on all cylinders, Mark.
Yeah, the delay of the tight end has worked a couple of times. It's just so much open. I mean, Paulsboro has so many weapons that you have to cover. You have to give them something, and they've been able to take advantage of it.
2nd and 2. Harvey to throw again. Fires it wide open. Montemore breaks a tackle. Montemore is scampering down the sideline to about the 15. Nice job by Chris Montemore, a junior wide receiver. And Harvey really picks out a lot of different targets.
The other thing that we're noticing from Kevin Harvey, as opposed to, say, last year is, and this is what happens when you're a veteran, he's acquired more touch on his passes. I remember before, Bob, he used to try to throw everything hard. Certainly on the touchdown pass to Greg Harvey, outstanding touch. That time also, he did a great job to Montemure, not trying to bowl over his receivers, just get it to them.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of Woodbury. Frisbee, Urban, the backs behind Harvey. Harvey, hand off to Frisbee. Frisbee, some room over the right side. Moves the ball to about the 10-yard line. Nothing after one period, but Paulsboro with a couple of touchdowns in a span of less than 3 minutes early here in the second, and a chance here to get more. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup by Frisbee. Two wide receivers to the near side. Frisbee with the carry. Frisbee close to a 1st down to about the 7-yard line. He'll be short by about 2 yards. 5:40 to play, 2nd period. 2nd period totally dominated by the Red Raiders. Day's turned out very nice after some early morning rain, very overcast, and the sun has been out most of the first half. 3rd down and 2. Harvey scampering to the near side, wide receiver. Frisbee, 1st down carry inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line, where the Red Raiders will have a 1st down and goal, and now they're making it look easy.
Again, this was what Jim Boyd was worried about, the momentum of Paulsboro.
1st and goal. Frisbee over the right side, diving, and he's in for the touchdown. Eric Frisbee, who's been a workhorse here in the first half, gets the touchdown from the 3, and Paulsboro has advanced its lead to 20-0. All 3 scores coming here in the 2nd period. And they are really starting to get uncoiled offensively. I like the way they spread it around too, Mark. Everybody gets a chance to carry the ball. All the receivers used. Chu has been 2 for 2 from placement, trying to make it 21-0 game. Woodbury offsides, it appears.
Bob, I'll tell you, so often the offensive line unsung, but Wayne Hampton, John David, center John Weber, Brian Peck, and Kevin Chu, and also they've been getting great blocking from the tight ends, Tarpley and Justice, and they are just really dominating the line of scrimmage.
Half the distance penalty, and it looks like Paulsboro still will kick it, even though they don't have to run it in from the 1.5 yard line. Chu. And this one is blocked. In there quickly for Woodbury, Stephen Felder. So with 4:51 to play in the 2nd period, Paulsboro has romped out to a 20-0 lead. We'll be back after this.
Royal Conference scores from last night. West Deptford defeated Haddonfield 50-20. Sterling defeated Gateway 18.
Kevin Chu kicking off for Paulsboro. He's done that a lot here in the 2nd period. Reagan coming up for the ball. It goes out of bounds. And Woodbury will take advantage of the out-of-bounds kick and take possession at the 40-yard line.
Bob, after missing his first 2 passes now, Kevin Harvey's connected on his last 6. He's 6 for 8 for 86 yards, 1 touchdown, and in rushing, he's only carried the ball twice, but he has 14 yards and a touchdown.
Penalty for the kick going out of bounds is 5 yards, re-kick.
Going to re-kick it. 4:51 to play in the 2nd period after an even-up first quarter. Paulsboro has been thoroughly in control here in the 2nd and leads at 20-0. Some interesting scores last night in the Colonial Conference, Mark. How about that West Deptford beating Haddonfield? Haddonfield had started with a 42-0 victory over Sterling. West Deptford clobbered them 50-22. I don't remember a West Deptford team scoring 50 points in many, many years, maybe ever.
You know, no surprise, though. They felt they should have beaten Collingswood the week before, and I think they took out their frustration on Haddonfield.
Ball taken at the 18-yard line by Aaron Harvey, and He won't get very far. Good special teams coverage by Paulsboro. That's one of the Raiders' trademarks through the years. Chris Montemore making the tackle. And Woodbury will have possession from its 26. Difficult situation now for the Thundering Herd to get back in the football game. They're probably going to have to throw the ball. Paulsboro knows that. It has been a rocky second quarter for Woodbury. Woodbury, the fine sophomore quarterback, Kenny Wilson, had a great debut against Audubon last week. He has not had much time today. Wilson back to throw, better time this time. Goes deep and overfires Aaron Harvey with coverage by Brian Nevis. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Woodbury.
Not a bad thing to do though, to try to open up the defense. He had ample time to do it that time. You know, since that first drive though, Bob, Woodbury has not gained a first down. One for the half.
And now in a situation where they probably will not be able to as effectively use their ground game either. 2nd and 10. Reagan, the lone back, set behind Wilson. Excuse me, that's Rothmiller. Wilson intercepted by Greg Harvey. Penalty marker is down. Then he dropped the ball. Easy interception by Greg Harvey. Couldn't come up with it.
What's happening? We've noticed this. We've noticed this a couple times.
Down.
Greg Harvey not happy about it. He thought he should have had the interception, but a couple of times Wilson has thrown into double coverage.
See that play again.
Yeah, and he tries to loft the ball over a defender, and I guess it's a good theory if you can do it, but if you don't, the other team can go the other way. See, he's trying to loft it, and with guys that are great athletes like Harvey, that's tough to do, and he's constantly been throwing in double and sometimes triple coverage. Again, he's a sophomore, he's going to learn.
Timeout on the field with 4:08 to play in the second period and a 20-0 Paulsboro lead. We'll take timeout and be back for more from Woodbury High. Important 3rd down and 10 play coming up from Woodbury. Mark Narducci and Bob Shryock bringing the action from Woodbury High. Wilson chased out of the pocket, fires it, and good coverage by Greg Harvey. And that'll create a 4th down and 10 for Woodbury and also force another punt. It's not been a happy second quarter for the Thundering Herd.
And you know, that was an excellent play by Mike Bell, who came all the way from the right side to chase Wilson down the end there. Almost got him that time. Bell showing some pretty good speed for a 235-pounder. You know, he was telling us that he hopes that maybe in college he could be a linebacker, and you certainly have to have the kind of speed to be a linebacker. I still see him more as a stand-up defensive end type on the next level, or even if he gets a little bit bigger to move in and play tackle.
Terse to punt. Kevin Harvey, lone safety for the Red Raiders. Okay, snap. Terse, good hang time. Another fair catch called for by Harvey right at midfield. So the one thing that Woodbury has successfully done is deny Kevin Harvey the chance to show his great open field running ability on punt returns. He hasn't had a chance to return one.
I'll tell you, most teams don't even elect to kick to him. Most just try to kick it out of bounds and away for him. That's how intimidating he is as a return man.
3:55 to play in a second period that has been totally controlled by Paulsboro. The ball right at midfield, 1st and 10. Frisbee, Irvin, the backs behind Harvey. Harvey back to throw. Guns it over the middle, intercepted. Excellent coverage. And the interception by the Thundering Herd's James Groff. And Woodbury takes over. Good break for the Thundering Herd. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Yeah, that's a case where a quarterback has a lot of confidence in his arm and tries to drill it in there, but he actually threw it behind Greg Harvey, his intended receiver that time. Groff right there on the spot.
So Woodbury with another chance with 3:35 to go in the half. Rothmiller behind Wilson. Reagan the motion man. Wilson to throw. And misses the intended receiver, Aaron Harvey. 2nd down and 10. So Wilson, after hitting a couple of early receivers, has struggled a little bit. Only a sophomore. Going to hear a lot more from this young man.
I think anything, would rattle a sophomore, junior, or a senior is the fact that Paulsboro's rush has just been so effective. I think that'll cause any quarterback to kind of quicken his pace and do things a little faster. And that's certainly been the story of the game, Paulsboro's dominance on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Wilson batted away. Good lateral movement that time by Wayne Hampton, knocking that ball away.
Bob, that's a lineman going out there and staying step for step with him on that play, with the receiver on that play. That's why we said Hampton is one of the better junior linemen in South Jersey, just showing tremendous agility.
3rd down and 10. 3:21 to play in the second. Wilson again to throw. Fires it and batted away. Harvey, the intended receiver. Good coverage in the middle by Lee Campbell of the Red Raiders. And Mr. Terse has had a lot of punting practice here in the first half. He's going to get another one. It's been a long second quarter, Mark, especially for Woodbury.
Well, they partially achieved their goal of staying close early as it was 0-0 after 1, but that was when Paulsboro was just closing in on a score anyway. They haven't stopped since.
Terse. Harvey. Breaks a couple of tackles. Watch out. One man to beat Terse in the corner. Terse can't get him. Down the sideline. Goodbye. Wow. That's what he does best. That's unbelievable. I mean, you know it's coming. He looked like he was thinking about fair catching it, Mark, and then he didn't. And look what happens. 60-yard punt return for a touchdown by the amazing Kevin Harvey. It's 26-0. Let me correct that. It's 68 yards for the TD. You know, Mark, interestingly to me, that's only his 3rd punt return touchdown in his career out of his now 45 touchdowns. Here it is.
Well, again, how many times can you describe what he does? He broke another arm tackle right in the beginning. As you mentioned, Bob, split-second decision whether to fair catch it or not. Watch how many tackles. There's the cut. Breaks the arm tackle there. You're not going to bring him down that way, and then forget it. I mean, Terse made a nice chase at him, but forget it.
He makes it look so easy. It's kind of amazing. 27-0. The Harvey touchdown. And while we were watching the replay, the extra point by Kevin Chu. So it is now a 27-0 Paulsboro lead. Well, this has been a devastating second period for that football team. Woodbury High, that's Jerry Miskar, one of their fine long-time assistant coaches. Woodbury's so high for this game. We noticed that in the pre-game, Mark. They were really up. They played a really fine first quarter, and this is what a quick-hitting team like Paulsboro can do to you. This has all come in the second period.
And you mentioned, Bob, it's only the 3rd punt return of his career. Teams just don't punt to him very often, and now we see why.
Another kickoff for Kevin Chu.
His upper body strength is just a lot more than people think of him. I mean, a couple times today, people have had decent shots at him up top, and he's just shrugged them off.
Taken at the 24-yard line by Chandler. And Chandler gets it up to the 34 or 39-yard line. Difficult situation for the Thundering Herd, trailing by this many. They obviously want to keep battling, try to get back in the football game, but Paulsboro now knows that they got to throw the football. 2:50 to play in the first half with the clock running.
Tell you, it may not be a bad idea though to do a few running plays right here, Bob. I mean, get regrouped, go into halftime. Because last time they had the 3 incomplete passes, it only chewed up about 30 seconds.
Wilson to throw again. Good protection and almost picked off. Number 9, Nevis with a good defensive play. 2nd down and 10 for the Red Raiders. Or excuse me, the Thundering Herd.
2nd and 10, Woodbury.
So Paulsboro with a shutout victory in its opener, 32-0, and Woodbury beating Audubon 28-0. Paulsboro in excellent shape now to go 2-0 in the young season. Woodbury needs a miracle comeback. 2nd and 10. They're throwing on virtually every down now. Dump it out, and there's a big open field tackle by who else? Kevin Harvey. The catch made by Ed Hill. Kevin Harvey did not play defense a year ago, but he's such a tremendous defensive player, and they're a little short-handed this year, so he's out there now. I guess in every situation except specialty teams, and he returns punts as we just saw.
A lot of people think in college he could be a cornerback / punt returner and certainly excel at both of those areas.
3rd down and 7. Woodbury desperately needing a 1st down. Wilson floats this one, and it'll be Terse apparently was pushed, so Woodbury will get a break here. The ball nowhere near Terse, but Woodbury apparently will be able to maintain possession as Terse was pushed on that pattern.
I'll tell you what, Greg Harvey not happy about that call, but
We have defensive pass interference, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
as you heard George Daniels say, 15 yards on that in the pass interference. Greg Harvey not happy with that, but Bob, obscured by all this is the fact that he is also an excellent guy covering receivers. He's been with them step for step. Certainly had a couple of interception possibilities.
32-yard line.
So Woodbury in Paulsboro territory after the 15-yard interference penalty. They're at the 42-yard line, and I tell you, it'd do an awful lot of good for Woodbury team morale if they could get a score before halftime. There's time, 1:38 to play. And the Raiders will be looking pass on every down. Wilson to throw. Good protection, fires it, and almost picked off, tipped by Brian Nevis, who's had a good first half in the defensive backfield for the Raiders. 2nd down and 10. Mark, I wanted to mention an organization here today, almost en masse, the Woodbury High School Sports Alumni Association. Kind of an interesting group of guys, Woodbury graduates, people who have an interest in the sports tradition here at Woodbury High School. They meet monthly for breakfast meetings. They had a dinner last night at which Paulsboro's Pete Lamonti spoke, and a great group of guys. Good friend of mine, Joe Schulte's one of the ringleaders of that group. Wilson dumps it off to Reagan, but big pursuit from behind. The tackle made by the ever-present Brian Peck.
Bob, how many times have you called a Paulsboro defensive lineman making a tackle on a completed pass? I mean, these guys,
great speed.
Yeah, great speed, ferociousness to rush the passer, and they never give up. It's certainly a trademark of a Glenn Howard team.
3rd down and 12. Clock running under a minute. Wilson slips, maintains his balance, and has to run it, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. It'll be 4th down for Woodbury with 45 seconds to play. Wilson's advanced to the 37-yard line, so they'll have a 4th down and about 5, but more importantly, they're desperate to get in the end zone. We'll take timeout, be right back from Woodbury High.
Timeout, Woodbury.
4th and 5, Wilson dumps it off and nearly picked off. So Woodbury will turn the ball over to Paulsboro with 41 seconds to play in the first half.
Bob, it's almost like we're being redundant, but Brian Peck once again was right in Wilson's face, and the play of this defensive line has just been absolutely outstanding here in the first half, and the offensive line has matched it also.
What a second quarter for Paulsboro. Nothing after one. 27-0 at this point. They scored all 4 touchdowns here in the second period. Be interesting to see whether they just keep it on the ground and run out the clock, and that appears what they're going to do.
Kevin Harvey.
Kind of a nice gesture, I think, by Glenn Howard, Mark. What do you think?
Absolutely. Showing a lot of class there.
So they'll let the clock run down 27 seconds. Don't forget to stay tuned at halftime. Be talking to John Berzichelli and Steve Anishesky about that 1951 Paulsboro High School football team at halftime.
Steve wasn't on that team, was he?
I think he was. And that'll do it for the first half. What a first half it's been for Paulsboro High School. On the Valley and Bow scoreboard, the score at halftime, Paulsboro 27, Woodbury nothing. Back with Steve Anishesky and John Berzichelli after this. Halftime of Woodbury-Paulsboro, the Thundering Herd trailing 27-0. Devastating second quarter performance by Paulsboro High School. I'm with Steve Anishesky and John Berzichelli, a couple of regulars on Channel 5, talking a little bit about another Paulsboro football team of bygone era, a 1951 team, the last Paulsboro undefeated team before the 1993 team, which won 11-0, won the Colonial and the NJSIAA. Guys, good having you here. And Steve, did you play in this 51 game?
No, that was a couple years. I was in grade school. No, I wasn't even born in 1951, Bob. But they had a great team, and I got to see this film, and it really was something to watch a 1951 football game on this field.
John, you appreciate old films, and this is great to see this game, particularly with a guy like Milt Plum, one of the real legends of South Jersey football.
Milt was, of course, had a fine career here at Woodbury, Bob. And in 1951, both Woodbury and Paulsboro were undefeated. It was a very, very special football game in Gloucester County high school football history. The newspaper accounts of that day claim it was the largest crowd at that time ever to witness a high school game in the county, almost 10,000 people here.
Right on this field, right?
On this field. It was a big day.
John, who were some of the key players on that Paulsboro team?
I made a few notes because we're going to be highlighting the team and the game on Eye on Paulsboro and up and coming. But for the Paulsboro kids, Alex Dobzhansky, Ted Boris, Louis DeJamatiska, Charlie O'Leary, Bob Dobzhansky, Harry Hurst, Jim Gentile, Bill Godfrey, Jerry Coughlin, Willis Bay, and Roger Blum for Paulsboro, Bob.
A pretty good group. Steve, I understand that there is a reunion dinner coming up at which this 1951 team will attend.
Right, the 1951 team will have a reunion. It's November 5th. And what they're going to have, they have all but five deceased players, and everyone else will be there. And Coach Dick Ridinger, who was also going into Paulsboro High School Sports Hall of Fame a week earlier.
Big year for Dick Ridinger, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We hope he keeps his speeches under 20 minutes, but...
Dick Ridinger, a guy that I know you go back a few years with, John. When you talk about the people who have had a great impact on the sport of football in Paulsboro, Dick, not only as a coach, but as the consummate gentleman, ranks up there.
His reputation carries on, Bob, and that year was a big challenge for him because they had gone from the single wing offense of the previous year and had gone to a split T, which Woodbury also had, so that was his first year with the split T. Only 2 touchdowns in that game. The final score was 14-0, both in the second quarter. First on a halfback pass from Alex Dobzhansky to Jim Gentile, 38 yards, and the second Bob Dobzhansky scored over from the 1, and 14-0 was the final score.
This game with such great tradition, Steve, do the people in Paulsboro still look at the Woodbury game as maybe their top rivalry game?
Without question, Bob. I think that this rivalry, because of the Paulsboro-Glassboro rivalry no longer in existence, this is the game. And, you know, for a few years in the late 80s, early 90s, Woodbury dominated this series. And now it's going back the other way. But you're going to find that. But it's two great football programs. And incidentally, in the 1951 game, Bob Dobzhansky was a freshman quarterback, and the next freshman quarterback to start for Paulsboro was Kevin Harvey in the year before they won the next undefeated season.
Okay, I want to thank Steve and John for this interesting halftime show. I appreciate very much with them being with us. Score at halftime, the Red Raiders of Paulsboro 27, Woodbury nothing. We'll be back with the second half kickoff right after this. Second half football from Woodbury High. Mark Narducci and Bob Shryock. Paulsboro taking the second half kickoff. Onside attempt failing by Woodbury, so Paulsboro will have excellent field position at its own 41-yard line. Scoreless first period, but then Paulsboro with a devastating 27-point blitz in the second, and that's where we stand, 27-0. Eric Frisbee, who had a good first half, the lone back set behind Harvey. Harvey straight back to throw. Chased out of the pocket. He'll run the football. And Woodbury with a good job. When you can tackle Kevin Harvey for only a couple of yard gain, you've done a good job. Harvey picks up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
And Paulsboro looks like it's working on its no-huddle offense right now.
Harvey fires it over the middle, completed. Battling for extra yardage, Andre Lee. So Lee has first down pickup for the Raiders to the Woodbury 44-yard line, and again they go no huddle. Harvey again to throw. Fires completed. He has wide open receivers. This one completed for good yardage to Jamie Tarpley, only a sophomore.
You know, Bob, I think this is an excellent idea. People are saying, why are they doing this now up 27-0? Precisely why. They never know when they're going to get into a game when they're going to need this. And I think this is a good time to work on your 2-minute offense.
1st and 10 at the Woodbury 29-yard line. Harvey dumps it over the middle again. Again, wide open is Tarpley. Tarpley's had 3 grabs today. Good yardage to the 22-yard line. And 2nd down for the Red Raiders and about 3 for a first down.
All day the tight ends, Tarpley and Justice, have been open on the play.
Harvey, bad throw this, or almost picked off. Good coverage on the corner by Reagan. The intended receiver was Nevis. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 with 10:16 to play in the 3rd period. I want to thank Steve Anishesky and John Bersicali for being our halftime guests to talk about that 51 game Paulsboro Woodbury and that undefeated 51 Red Raider team. Frisbee has the first down.
Bob, just a couple quick first half stats. Woodbury passing 3 for 17 for 22 yards.
Wow.
-6 yards rushing. So it really tells you about what the Paulsboro defense was able to do. Kevin Harvey in the first half, 6 for 9 passing, 86 yards. 4 carries for just 11 yards and 3 yards in the losses run the last 2 plays when he just knelt down.
1st and 10 from the 18. Frisbee over the right side. Good yardage. Penalty marker is thrown in the area where they normally find somebody for offensive holding.
You know, I think it's a good idea, as we said, that Paulsboro doesn't know when it's going to be in a close game. A lot of people think they're just going to walk all over everybody. You don't know that, so you have to have all aspects of your game ready.
10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Red Raiders backed up 10 yards.
Offense.
So the Raiders from their own, or from the Woodbury 24-yard line.
First and 15, Paulsboro.
First down and 15 for the Red Raiders. Harvey over the middle, wide open. And a good job by Andre Lee, spinning for extra yardage down close to the 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob, I think one thing that Jim Boyd and his coaches are going to work on for next week's preparation is defending the pass over the middle. The play's been open all day. Paulsboro's been effective really on the delay pass over the middle, too.
2nd down and 4. The ball at the 12-yard line of Woodbury. Frisbee lone back set behind Harvey, and Harvey to throw again. Excellent protection. Finally chased out of the pocket. Fires it into the end zone, and an excellent try by Harvey, but good coverage in the end zone by number 14, Stephen Felder.
Boy, Felder's been outstanding defensively on coverage today. Again, just a sophomore, and and really, really showing well. You have to like these Woodbury sophomores and the young players for Woodbury. I think Coach Boyd has a good nucleus. I've already called them in one of my publications that I did the Colonial Conference favorite in '96.
3rd down and 4. A draw play. Irvin wide open for about 5 yards. Gets it down to the 5, and that'll be a 1st and goal coming up for the Red Raiders. So many offensive weapons. 1st and goal, and the spot will be at the 6-yard line. 8:42 to play in the 3rd period. Paulsboro taking the second half kickoff, driving it all the way downfield. A chance to add to their already imposing lead. Very quiet Woodbury crowd in front of us. Harvey rolling, has some blockers. And Harvey dances easily into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the day. This one coming at the 8:17 mark of the 3rd period and advancing the score to 33-0. Harvey with 3 touchdowns today and 47 mark for his career. He's still only a junior in his 2nd game in his junior season. And I tell you, that career South Jersey mark of 79 by Florence's Roger Morton, certainly within his grasp.
Absolutely, Bob. On that play, again, a lot of times you give a quarterback a pass run option. That was a run all the way, as we saw earlier in the game, too. Harvey wasn't thinking of passing at all. It was a pass run option, as there's some confusion there on the 2-point conversion try. Well, on the kick conversion try, but it looked like it was going to be a pass. Here we got to look at it again, Bob. There's really not even much faking. He is running from the moment he got the ball from the center. Wasn't even thinking of passing. Frisbee getting a great block in there, too, to really give him a little room, too. And Kevin Harvey doesn't need a whole lot to get in the end zone.
Well, he sure makes it look easy, doesn't he? 8:17 to play in the 3rd period. 33-0 from Paulsboro. You know, the first period of this game, Woodbury absolutely played them dead even.
Except for the fact that right near the end of the period, Paulsboro was driving and close to scoring, as we mentioned, and then they scored early in the 2nd, and they haven't stopped scoring since.
So Harvey has scored 3, thrown for 1. Frisbee also has a touchdown run for the Red Raiders. Paulsboro is showing why many consider them the favorite to repeat their Colonial Conference and Group 1 championship. Congratulations to the West Deptford High School football team for that big victory over Haddonfield on Friday night, 50-22. Excellent job by the Eagles. Gateway, the other Colonial Conference team in Gloucester County, losing to Sterling 18-0. Reagan at the 20. Pinned in, and he'll get it back to about the 27-yard line. So Woodbury will have its first possession of the 2nd half. Tough situation for a sophomore quarterback, Mark. When you're trailing 33-0, you want to get points on the board. What a good baptism for the young man.
Well, again, we mentioned they were undefeated as freshmen. It's certainly a different level now to play against a team, and not only against a good team, a team that's chasing history, Bob. They came into today with 19 wins in a row. The South Jersey record is 31 by Millville, and that's a record that has lasted since 1955.
Johnny Barbos, huh?
Yep.
Injured Thundering Herd player, seems to be okay. Travis Davis. It was Dr. Franny O'Connell, been on the sidelines here at Woodbury for as long as I've been in the area, 30 years. Ball is loose after the run by William Diggs, but Woodbury recovers. Good job on the play by Woodbury's Andrew Hoffman, 230-pound tackle, falling on the loose ball. Second and 11 for Woodbury. And they're keeping it on the ground. Rothmiller gets a couple.
You know, we were talking about that that's an incredible streak because for a record to last that long, and Cherokee came within one of it, remember, and this Woodbury team, remember when they were beaten by Haddon Heights, had gotten up to like 29. So
Jim Combs' teams.
well, no, this was actually the team with Larry Ginsberg had started the streak,
right, yeah.
and then Jim Boyd here, and then Haddon Heights broke that, and Woodbury Cherokee had a streak of 30, Woodbury of 29, which ended in 1990. Collingswood from 1933, Bob, had a 28-game winning streak. So winning streaks are not that easy to get, and as I said, Woodbury really chasing history now.
Incompleted pass forces another Woodbury punt with 6:26 to play in the third period. It is all Paulsboro. Harvey has already returned one punt for a touchdown today. Terse will be punting to him. Terse gets it off, and Harvey will not be able to return this one. And Paulsboro with good starting position again from its own 49-yard line. Harvey will stay in. Figure maybe one more touchdown, and might not see any more of him today, maybe, Mark.
I'll tell you what, I would seriously think about even pulling him now, but if not, certainly this should be his last series. It's kind of a tough thing as a coach too, Bob, because you want your guys to have the endurance to go 4 quarters, because again, you never know when you're going to need them, but you always have to worry about injury also. It's a tough balance.
Frisbee with the handoff. Good tackling inside by the Thundering Herd on that one by Andrew Hoffman and also Jeff Wade of the Thundering Herd. Gain of only a yard. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 49 of Woodbury. 5:35 to go in the third. Very subdued crowd. Harvey, great protection. Finally chased out of the pocket. Goes, wide open downfield. Oh my goodness. Absolutely wide open for the touchdown. Brian Nevis, 49-yard touchdown pass by Harvey. Harvey's scrambling ability enabled Nevis to get in the clear. And although the ball was underthrown, Nevis makes the easy catch and a 49-yard scoring strike. And it is now 39-0 Paulsboro. Now Harvey has run for 3 and thrown for 2. Kevin Chu from placement. Good snap. And it's through. So it's 40-0 after Chu converts for the 4th time. 5:14 to play in the third period. Let's look at that one again, Mark.
Well, I'll tell you, when you have breakdowns, it seems to be contagious. Look at all the time he has. Absolutely. Then he's rolling, and I guess everyone thinks he's ready to run. He's right-handed. He's running to his left. He's throwing that thing, Bob, on the run, 50 yards in the air. He's got a lot better arm than people think, and not always an easy play when you're that wide open because there's even more pressure to catch the ball. Nevis doing a good job of hauling it in.
5:14 to go in the third, and the Woodbury bench is stunned. 0-0 after 1 quarter, but since then, in the second and third periods, Paulsboro has scored 6 touchdowns. And Kevin Harvey has been involved in 5 of them directly. 3 runs, 2 passes. Chu to kick it off again for the Red Raiders. And Woodbury desperately needs a touchdown. Getting mentally back in this game. Good high kick by Chu this time. Taken at the 4-yard line by Aaron Harvey. And Harvey breaks the tackle. 1 man to beat. And now the ball is loose, and it bounces right back up to him. An exciting return by Aaron Harvey, one of the most productive plays of the day by a good return by Aaron, and Woodbury with nice field position at its own 45.
Well, I'll tell you what, if this shutout is preserved, Paulsboro can give a lot of credit to Seneca Cooper, who on the special teams really made what would have been a touchdown-saving tackle that time.
First and 10 to Hurd.
Sophomore quarterback Ken Wilson still in there for Woodbury. And he's keeping the ball all the way, bounced out of bounds. Oh, Willie Murray, Woodbury assistant coach, is down, might be injured on that play. He took a vicious hit on the sideline. The tackle made by Greg Harvey, and the Woodbury bench looking at, I believe that's Willie Murray, isn't it, Mark? Well,
Hard to tell from this angle, Bob.
Willie Murray, one of the most celebrated football players in Woodbury High School history. He is the assistant head coach here, and Willie is down on the sideline. The whole team, the trainer, Dr. O'Connor, everybody surrounding Willie Murray to see if he's okay. Boy, it's not Woodbury's day. 2nd down and 5. Rothmiller, tough load to bring down. The ball pops loose, and Paulsboro recovers. Good run by Rothmiller, but fumbles at the end of the play, and Paulsboro falls on it. We'll take a break from Woodbury High. All Paulsboro, 40-0.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike foul.
40-0, Paulsboro leading Woodbury, and I tell you, there's a lot of concern now for Willie Murray. There's Woodbury players just kind of standing around concerned about the very popular assistant head coach, Willie Murray. Dr. Franny O'Connor looking at him. Kind of a bizarre play on which Murray was injured. So after the fumble recovery, now a 15-yard penalty apparently assessed against the Thundering Herd. Oh, everything's going wrong for Woodbury.
Yeah, you were saying Woodbury desperately needs a touchdown. They really needed first downs, Bob. That prior to the fumble, they had only gained their 2nd first down of the game.
New quarterback in the game for Paulsboro High School, Keenan Smith, a junior. So we're going to see some of the Paulsboro reserves get a chance to play. Carry by Seneca Cooper for about 4 yards. 2nd down and 6, the ball at the 41-yard line of Woodbury. Now Willie Murray is on his feet, appears to be okay. There was a lot of concern for Willie, real great guy and a very popular coach at his alma mater. Played in the Jim Coombs era in the early 60s. Cooper again with the carry. He's a 145-pound junior.
Of course, Willie's son, Mark Murray, player for Deptford High School, was a player for Deptford, big lineman.
3rd down and 4 for Paulsboro. So Kevin Harvey given apparently the rest of the day off, at least on offense, after scoring 3 times and passing for 2 more.
I'll tell you, this is not a bad backfield still with Mike Bell as your lead back and Seneca Cooper as your tailback.
That's Cooper. Cooper cutting it inside, breaks a tackle, and he gets first down yardage to about the 30. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the 3rd period. So Keenan Smith gets an opportunity to play at quarterback for the Red Raiders. Like Harvey, he's a junior. Cooper again, picking his way. Some pretty good yardage. still driving. So Cooper gets about 5 yards. Middle of the Woodbury line, bringing him down. Corey Harvey, a sophomore, leading the tacklers for Woodbury. Pickup of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. So Paulsboro's 2nd offensive unit getting a chance. And Bell with the carry. Bell's advanced to about the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Minute 33 and counting in the 3rd period. Lee Campbell now in at fullback for the Raiders. Cooper picking his way, breaks a tackle. Cooper still on his feet and drives down inside the 5-yard line. Exciting running by Seneca Cooper. He has a 1st down, and the Raiders back knocking on Woodbury's door again.
I'll tell you, Paulsboro's so deep in the backfield that, you know, Frisbee's done a great job for them, but you bring Cooper in, you're not losing a whole lot. Doesn't have a lot of size. And we know what kind of a fine wrestler he's been, and
fine all-around athlete.
Yeah. We also saw him make that special team saving tackle.
Cooper again, and he is hammered down at about the 4. 40 seconds to go in the period.
Bob, unofficially, I have Kevin Harvey, if he is finished for the day, 11 for 16 passing, 189 yards, the 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 6 carries for 21 yards, 2 touchdown runs, and the 68-yard punt return. Not a bad day's work.
Average. You know, you look at his rushing total, 6 carries, 21 yards. Doesn't sound like a very big day, but of course, just about he scored on 2 of those 6 runs.
Yeah, 2 he knelt near the end of the
right.
half too, just to kill time. By the way, Eric Frisbee, a quiet 11 carries for 53 yards, a very effective game for the Paulsboro tailback.
That'll do it for the 3rd quarter from Woodbury High School. On the Valley and Bow scoreboard, it's all Paulsboro, the Red Raiders 40, Woodbury nothing. We'll be back after this. Fourth quarter football, and Paulsboro knocking on Woodbury's door again. 3rd down and goal, the ball at the 4-yard line. Mark Narducci and Bob Schrauk from Woodbury High. Smith on the keeper, and he will not get in the end zone. Good job defensively by the Thundering Herd. The tacklers led by Anthony Eiffel. And a 4th down for the Red Raiders. Mark, this, if Paulsboro scores, this would be the 1st touchdown of the game at this end of the field, right?
That's right.
All 6 touchdowns at the west end of the field.
I'll tell you what, this even makes Paulsboro stronger, Bob, because these reserves are seeing some quality minutes now and certainly going to really develop some depth on this team, as if they need any more help.
Gaines with the carry, and Gaines does not get in the end zone. Good job by the Woodbury defense, denying another Red Raiders score. So Woodbury will take over at its own 1-yard line. You got to give the Woodbury defense a little credit there, I think, Mark. They could have rolled over on that one, down already 40-0, but they really battled and kept Paulsboro out of the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought Anthony Reagan made a very fine play of a sure tackle to save that touchdown. And I'm telling you, Bob, with guys like Reagan, we forget just how young this Woodbury team is, but guys like Reagan, Ken Wilson, people like that, Felder, who's really shown us a lot today defensively. This is a team that we're going to hear from Woodbury. They're certainly probably not ready to challenge for the Colonial Conference title this year. Next year might be another story.
The sophomore Wilson from his own 1-yard line. And on a keeper, Wilson still battling, gets a couple of yards, maybe one. Tackle made by Marcus Ruffin. Got a yard, 2nd down and 9, the ball at the 2-yard line.
Woodbury next week, by the way, takes on, one of the more improved teams in the Colonial, Haddon Heights. Al Mallon's team's off to a 2-0 start, which is very significant considering, Bob, that they were 1-8 last season. Team has a lot of speed. Questions were up front with the Garnets, and they've come through so far, but now comes the tougher part of the schedule for Haddon Heights coming up.
Rothmiller gets another yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8, the ball at the 3-yard line. 9:40 to play. This one long ago decided. Paulsboro leading 40-0. Didn't look like that kind of a game in the first quarter. Wilson. And not a bad pass. Unable to hold it, William Diggs, so tough spot here for Woodbury. They have to punt the football from the corner of the end zone.
I'll tell you what, I think Terse has done a good job punting today, and there's some very adverse circumstances, including a couple of bad snaps, things like that. I think under fire, he's done a nice job.
Richard Gaines will be the deep man for the Red Raiders, with Harvey getting the rest of the day off. Terse, good punt again. Excellent punt. Gaines back to the 36. Breaks one tackle, finally knocked down. First tackle made by Chandler, finished off by Jeff Wade. So the Raiders will begin possession at the Woodbury 30-yard line with 9:10 to play in the football game.
I think the next 2 weeks are going to tell a lot about Woodbury, because they take on Heights and then they take on Haddonfield. And these are two teams that, let's face it, you have to consider kind of toss-up games. Then after that, they take on Collingswood, and Collingswood's going to be a favorite. So I think Woodbury, to show kind of what kind of season it's going to have, I think a lot will be determined over these next 2 weeks.
Injured Woodbury player is Hakeem Chandler, a senior, down at about the 32-yard line, being attended to. Today's game is brought to you by Dowdy's Fine Furniture. With home and office furniture, over 24 desk styles in stock. In-store or in-home decorating service available. Complete bedding department. Free delivery within a 50-mile radius with a minimum purchase of $500. Major credit cards are accepted at Dowdy's Fine Furniture, and other financing is available. They're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., on Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 5, and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Dowdy's Fine Furniture in Clayton. Chandler okay, walking off under his own power. Keenan Smith with his second series at quarterback for the Raiders. Straight ahead, some yardage for Kai Myers. Gets about 5 to the 25.
Bob, after this, I'm going to run over to Glassboro and see Glassboro play Gloucester. A lot of people already in the second full week of the high school season feel that Glassboro could be Paulsboro's biggest pursuer in Group 1 this season.
They have a huge line, don't
they?
they?
Huge line. Brackett's a terrific running back. Bobby Woolfolks, the tight end's one of the best players in South Jersey. They have size, they have speed, and certainly a tough game with Gloucester coming up, but it's a very impressive Glassboro team, and one that might match up as well with Paulsboro maybe as any other team in Group 1.
Myers gets 5 more and gets a Paulsboro first down. Paulsboro's second offense denied one opportunity to score at the 1-yard line, and they're back hammering again. 8:05 to play with the clock running. Been a long day for the Thundering Herd. Smith on the keeper, gets a couple. 2 yards to the 17, second down and 8.
As we mentioned, a lot of quality time for these reserves. They came in with 4:11 left in the third quarter. Game experience, it's obviously the best thing for the development of a player.
A lot of good young players in both of these teams. Second and 8. And the pitch to Ruffin. And Ruffin gets a couple. Good hit made by Kevin Gold.
And you're right about this Woodbury team. It certainly would be easy just to kind of pack it in. They're still playing very, very hard.
Reflection of good coaching. Incidentally, a couple of good coaching staffs in this game. Jim Boyd, the head coach, Willie Murray, the assistant head coach, Jerry Misgard, Don Amorello, Tom Hurst, and Butch Gale on the staff here at Woodbury High. Glenn Howard, the head coach at Paulsboro, Jim Pandolfo, Ed Ross, Tony Talavecchia, Jim Henry, Wayne Farrell, Phil Scott, and Tom Richardson. And saving tackle made by George Felder of Marcus Ruffin. The tackle made at the 6-yard line, where it'll be first down and goal for Paulsboro.
Guess all Colonial Conference people, Bob, are pointing to the 29th of October when Paulsboro plays host to Collingswood. Certainly, with that win over West Deptford, the #1 challenger, you figure this year to Paulsboro.
The carry by, well, we have a player who carried the ball for the Red Raiders who was not in our program. Number 45. Penalty against the Red Raiders, backing them up to the 18-yard line. 6 minutes to play. So Glenn Howard going deep to his bench, so deep that came up with a player who's not on the program roster. Myers breaking tackles, slicing his way for good yardage. Gets it down to the 9-yard line, where it'll be second down and goal.
Bob, I've happened to see some of the better teams in South Jersey. It's really going to be an interesting year. I've seen Rancocas Valley and Wilson and saw Egg Harbor Township last night. A lot of very good teams in Group 3. And one person tells me, forget about all them. Brick Township's going to walk away with that trophy. So it's going to be very interesting.
And they advance to about the 2-yard line by number 45. So it'll be third and goal. Paulsboro with 2 chances to push it in from about the 2-yard line. Clock running with 4:50 to go. Gaines at tailback. Smith on the option will spin into the end zone for the touchdown. So backup quarterback Keenan Smith scores a touchdown with 4:33 to play in the football game, and Paulsboro pads its lead to 46-0. Jason Brown, by the way, number 45, John Mondelli, super sleuth, checking that out for us. Kevin Chu has had a lot of extra point practice today for the Red Raiders. And knocks this one through, so it's 47-0. So Chu is 5 for 7 from placement. And it has become one of those laughers, unfortunately, for Woodbury. Woodbury came out sky high, played an outstanding first quarter. Then the roof fell in the second period. 27 points by the Red Raiders including a touchdown on the first play of the second quarter. We're going to take time out from Woodbury High. Woodbury losing 47-0 to Paulsboro. We'll be back. Hill with the return for Woodbury of the Chew kickoff and gets it back to about the 18-yard line. Mark Narducci and Bob Shryock bringing you the final minutes of action from Woodbury High on a day that has been all Paulsboro since the first play of the second quarter. 47-0, the defending Colonial Conference and Group 1 champions leading big time. So Woodbury with perhaps one more chance to put something on the scoreboard. 4 minutes, the clock running. New quarterback in the game for Woodbury is Steven Felder. He's a sophomore. Couple of yards for the Thundering Herd up to about the 20-yard line.
Hey, Bob, by the way, John Mondelli's great high school show that he does every week on Thursday evenings.
Excellent show.
Well, it's going to be live on October 13th. So we will be taking callers at 7 o'clock, October 13th. They're going to be going live.
I'm going to call early.
That's right. They better call early, and we go live about once a month with it. And Steve Anashevsky and I are going to be there with John on Sports Week, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We may get a few calls from Paulsboro, do you think?
I would think so. Felder falls down, loses a couple of yards. It'll be third down for Woodbury. 2:55 to play. I would imagine there'll be a lot of calls for that show.
And of course, you're going to start getting the debate again, and it'll probably come earlier this season because there's no real dominant South Jersey team. Does a Group 1 team like Paulsboro deserve to be number 1, number 2? Where do they deserve to be ranked? It's going to be a very, very interesting question.
The carry by Corey Harvey. And Corey with some pretty good yards. Appears to have a first down. Marcus Scott with the stop for the Red Raiders. Harvey's advanced to the 29-yard line.
First and 10, the Herd.
But too many times in its glorious football history, Mark, has Woodbury been blanked 47-0.
Now, and especially, it's not too long ago they had that great run of the four straight South Jersey Group 1 titles.
That was Tarek Pratt, and he is a freshman, Mark. Nice carry by the freshman. Gets close to first down yardage. They'll bring the chains in. So Tarek Pratt, a freshman, making his varsity debut with a nice 10-yard carry. And it's first down. They're gonna measure for the first down. 1:57 to play in the football game. Woodbury High School's Alumni Sports Association being introduced by PA announcer. Bill Dixon does a great job here at Woodbury High.
I mean, people look at this and say, gee, Woodbury's going to have a tough season. I still think this is a team that's capable of certainly matching last year's 5-4 record. And I'll tell you what, if they can do that, Bob, with the young players that they have, they're really going to set a nice foundation for the future.
You know, Woodbury's got the kind of coaching staff, too, I think, Mark, with veterans like Willie Murray, Jerry Miskar, and, of course, Jim Boyd, who'll be able to bring this team back after a loss like this. I'm sure they'll be in focus on Monday and point out to them that they're still a good football team, long way to go in this season. I think they're going to win some more games. And I think it's the kind of coaching staff that can help them do that. Feller with the pitch. And Corey Harvey with a nice carry for the Thundering Herd. 1:41 to go. The clock is stopped as Harvey advances the ball to the 49-yard line of Paulsboro. Now they restart the clock.
Over here on the Paulsboro 49-yard line. First and 10 to Herd.
There's a freshman again, Pratt. Good yardage again. Hey, he looks like he could be a pretty good one. Tarek Pratt, a freshman, with his second carry and his second good carry. He has picked up 19 yards on 2 carries.
Tell you what, if you find any positives of a game like this, you get to see some other younger players get to show their stuff. And these two teams, Bob, have never had a lack of backs. You know, they always seem to have had some great people in the backfield, and certainly that tradition's continuing.
Clock running, 45 seconds to play. Beller with the keeper. Ball is loose, but Woodbury falls on it. Kevin Gold, a senior, recovering Felder's fumble. .30 seconds to go.
Over here on the Paulsboro 38-yard line.
Call it the 38-yard line of Paulsboro. Could be the final play of the game. Pratt again. And Pratt with another good carry. Still on his feet, still battling, and the freshman showing some spunk. Picks up about 5 more. That should be the final play of the football game. Devastating performance by Paulsboro High School. Final score on the Valley and Bow scoreboard. The Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School 47 and the Thundering Herd of Woodbury nothing. Mark Narducci and I will come back and wrap this one up after these messages. Final score from Woodbury High, Paulsboro 47, Woodbury nothing. And Mark Narducci, if you watched the first quarter of this football game and then you had to leave and go somewhere else and came back, you probably wouldn't believe the final score.
No, Paulsboro just turned it on. We mentioned they were driving late in the quarter, and then they just kept pouring it on. And they showed Bob the kind of explosiveness they have. And you know, people talk about their speed and how much damage they can do, but what really impressed me was how much they just thoroughly dominated on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I thought Brian Peck especially had an outstanding game.
Of course, they have the #1 offensive weapon in South Jersey and Kevin Harvey, but you know, I think they proved today that they have other weapons as well, and I like that. Glenn Howard likes to get everybody involved, and the second quarter was a classic example of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kevin Harvey's the best player in South Jersey. There's no question about it. He's certainly the catalyst, but I mean, they had other guys that made tremendous plays. Greg Harvey on that one-on-one touchdown, that 19-yard pass that Kevin made a great pass on. I thought Frisbee ran well. We talked about the line, Peck. I thought Esposito played a great game. Just everybody. Wayne Hampton chasing ball carriers down, chasing people who caught screen passes. This is a very, very good team. You know, people talk about depth. Well, there are not a lot of Group 1 teams that have a ton of depth.
Right.
But I'll tell you, they have as good a depth as anybody for a Group 1 team, and they're going to be very, very difficult to beat.
And everybody talks, of course, about the Paulsboro offense, but here they pitched back-to-back shutouts now with some real good players on the defensive unit. So, you know, that's the other part of the ingredient with this Red Raider team.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about, well, if you're offensively, you have to stop Mike Bell. We didn't call Mike Bell's name a lot, not because he didn't have a good game, but because Woodbury was concentrating on him. That gave some of the other guys a chance, and they really came through. So I was most impressed by the plays of the lines of scrimmages. I think this team has a lot of everything. They have a lot of balance, and that's good. And also, we talked about Kevin Harvey. His touch on his passing has become so much better. It's just a finely oiled machine, and it's going to take a lot to beat this team.
And a routine game for Harvey, 3 touchdowns and 2 passing. Now his 47 for his career, and that South Jersey record, although a year off is certainly in his sights. He is some football player.
Yeah, there are a lot of records that are going to be in his sights. But I'll tell you, the best thing about Kevin Harvey is, you know, know, he came into this year 21 out of 22 wins, and now, of course, it's obviously 23 out of 24. He's a winner. That's the best stat. That's the best thing you could say about him.
I think Woodbury has a chance, I think, to bounce back from this, Mark. And as I indicated during the telecast, I think they have the kind of a coaching staff, a veteran staff that can do that. They have to get this team together and point out, look, you played a great football team today, and they're going to win some games, I think.
Yeah, we said it during the telecast. The next 2 weeks with Haddon Heights and Haddonfield, 2 games that are a toss-up, 2 winnable games. We'll see the character of this Woodbury team in the next 2 weeks.
Mark, enjoyed working with you
Bob,
very much.
it's always great.
Okay. All right, final score again from Woodbury High. Paulsboro 47, Woodbury nothing. For Mark Narducci, this is Bob Shryock. Thanks for watching on Channel 5.